Hi, Kallum. Thank you very much again for joining me here today. Really, really appreciate it. Um, and awesome grading mathematics that you achieved from year 13. And we'll start with then, if you can remember, when you joined the course or at that point before you joined the course, do you remember what grade you were on? Did you have like a predicted grade or anything like that at school?
Yeah, I mean, right right then, this was in January. I was
Mm,
predicted a D or an E. I was on an E, but I think I was predicted an E. Oh no, E predicted a D. But re like when we're talking about E, I was like literally scraping an E. So I was
right.
kind of in between U and an E.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Okay. And then my follow-up question to that, I suppose, is then at that time or before you joined the course, what kind of things were you struggling with then at that time? Was it picking stuff up from lessons in school? Was it kind of putting in a study plan in place to keep up with the content? What kind of things were you struggling with?
Yeah, it was a bit of both, to be fair, because I couldn't decide what to do at what specific time. I didn't really have a structured plan. And in
Hmm.
lessons, in school lessons, they wouldn't really teach it properly. Because I remember specifically harmonic form in trig modeling. They taught one part, but then the other they just skipped out like the hard parts and all that.
Hmm.
So I didn't really like in lessons, I was like kind of understanding it, but like 50%, if that.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I found that a little bit at school, and some lessons do that. They focus on sort of basic content, a bit with the same with the textbook as well. But sometimes there's a big gap between that and stuff you'll see in an exam. So you'll open an exam practice paper, for instance, and it can be like, oh, I haven't seen anything like this before. Um, yeah, an important thing to know. Um, was it that kind of time then? Was there a specific point where you're like, I need extra help, or was it parents that decided that? At what point was it like, maybe I can look for extra help?
It was a bit of both because at the start of year 13, I was like, right, I'm gonna find a maths tutor. But then
Mm.
it was my mum helped me like that found Amrit, but before that I was like finding maths tutors. We couldn't really find any.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. And then what about I suppose you or your parents found Amrit, and what made you decide this is the one we'll go for, or at least try and being Amrit's course?
At the start of January, um, my friend recommended me a tutor. Not Amrit, it was someone else, but he was
Mm.
quite busy. And but he was only offering like 1 hour a week. And I was like to my mum, I don't think that's enough. So I decided to join Amrit's course because he had a structured plan. I remember it was the introduction that Davina done, and she like
Hmm.
a 16-week plan, like a process, and it looked structured. I was like, yeah, we're just gonna go with that. But then I was like, I thank God I chose this because this has been terrific, and I 1 hour a week from the other guy would never have been enough.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think a lot of students can be in a similar position where a big thing is that routine, putting in the hours, having some sort of structure. And Amrit's course is certainly good at that. And having that 16-week plan, really, really clear to see what's going on. And yeah, 1 hour a week, it's difficult to see how much progress that would by itself, I suppose, have. Um, Thinking going on to the course then and what you've experienced with it. Let's start with some of the stuff that helped you with the most. Tell me a bit about how you found the lessons themselves. So you said obviously the structure was really helpful in a sense. How about the lessons themselves?
The lessons were actually amazing to be fair, because I remember I joined the on the January course, and my first lesson was differentiation. And bear in mind, in
Mhm.
school we was doing differentiation at the same time Amrit was teaching, and
Right, yeah.
I can immediately differentiate the quality of teaching between the lessons that I was getting in school and lessons that Amrit would teach me. And I was like, should I learn the stuff from school or should I learn stuff from Amrit? And I chose to stick with Amrit. And in class, I was literally, when we had the questions, I was literally answering them straight away in one line of working. And then other people was like, oh, how do I do this? How do I do this? So I was literally overtaking them like that.
Yeah, that's really, really good. Really good. You picked it up, and Amrit's, yeah, teaching is really, really good. Some of the methods as well, not so much that you see in the textbook. And as you say, other students, their methods tend to be quite long. Amrit's are straight to the point, get to the answer really efficiently, and which is really, really good. Um, Other stuff then to do with the course, talking about homeworks, assessments, resources. Did that stuff help you as well?
Yes, what 100% because like after certain topics, we'll get homeworks to like week one, week two, and I do them. I was like, my understanding is way far way better than what I could have learned in school or textbooks. And it weren't just questions from Edexcel for which I learned. It was other examples like AQA and OCR. So I'll get like different type of questions as well that will help my understanding.
Perfect. Yeah, that's brilliant. Really good to hear. Um, and also then you've touched on this already. When did you begin to sort of notice an improvement or notice sort of once you join the course, things are going well or can feel maths getting easier or better? Was that fairly quick or did it take a little bit of time?
So it was kind of at the start it was immediate and then it slowed down. But then by the time March, April, and even May, I can literally look at a question and answer it like that. And even my classmates, I was in January, no, the end of January, we had a mock and
Mhm.
I barely scraped an E and I literally got one of the lowest in the class. And then by the time come like April, May, the smartest people in the class were asking me how to do questions. Like that's how quickly I just overtook them. So
That's
where I started seeing
awesome.
progress, I would say instant, but then when I started to see a lot more progress is when I stuck to the resources, to the videos and the handouts, and like April, May, that's when I really like it was a massive gap between me and my classmates and other people as well.
Really, really good. So we're talking about 3 months then between that January mock um, and 3 months later. So going from that E or scraping the E, as you say,
Mm.
um, to overtaking all of your classmates. 3 months. That's really, really awesome improvement. Of course. Um, all right then, Callum. The next thing that I'll ask is obviously we have a lot of students similar position to yourself. Some people can be in different positions, but thinking about being in a similar position, a student like yourself at that time, getting those sort of grades, or maybe perhaps being disappointed in them, and are considering joining Amrit's course, but they're not sure. What would you kind of advise or suggest or tell them?
I would say if you want to improve your maths and not even maths, because Amrit obviously like gives you advice in life as well, I'll say 100% join because when I first looked at the course in January before I joined, I said to my mum, "Oh, it's probably a scam because no way you can get from this an A or A star in 60 weeks." I was like, he just wants money, he's a scam. But then when I actually joined the course and saw everything and saw how it's structured and actually doing it and I saw this much progress, I was like, yeah, that's 100% worth it. Because I don't think I could, if I stuck with the school and never got a tutor, I'll say I'll probably get a C grade maximum. Like, no way I'll get an A.
Yeah, really, really good to hear. Um, or then Callum, really, really awesome progress. The last thing I'll say then, so you talked about in that January mock, just about getting an E. Do you want to share as part of the interview what you ended up getting in your A-level maths?
I got an A, my A levels. And not that it
Excellent.
helps, but I got the highest in my class. But I don't know. That would help.
That's awesome. That is, yeah, absolutely brilliant achievement, especially in that time frame. Absolutely awesome. And you obviously put in a lot of hard work as well. So really, really awesome to see. Your classmates must have been amazed. They must have been impressed,
Yeah.
to be fair. Really,
Even they've
really
said,
good.
yeah, it was made such good progress. Because in year 12 in the AS, I got the lowest, like the absolute lowest in the class. And then come year 13, I got the highest.
Incredible. Really, really good stuff, Callum. And thank you again a lot
Thank
for
you as
joining
well.
me here today. Really, really appreciate it. It's really good to see how you got on. Well, then, Callum, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much again.
No worries, Nathan. Always here to help.